I want to introduce you to the tool room, to the inventory portion of our tool room that has all of the parts and supplies stored that you'll be using as you service or repair vehicles in the automotive program here at BYU-Idaho. As you look around, you'll see a lot of fluids over here on these shelves. You'll see some cleaning supplies and lubricants over here. Then over here we have small parts such as bolts, wires, and in these bins we have hose clamps, light bulbs, fuses, clips, O-rings, all kinds of miscellaneous little items. And over here on the other side, on the other wall, beneath the computers, we have batteries. These are all part of our inventory. And all of these have a part number. Everything in this tool room was purchased and needs to be billed to a repair order. One rule that you should always follow is you should never walk out of this room with anything that hasn't been billed to a repair order. Otherwise, that's just like shoplifting. You're taking something that belongs to someone else. And how you do this is if you'll walk over to any of these parts. For example, as we get up here close to this 5W20 oil, you'll notice that there's a part number near it, and it's labeled and highlighted in yellow. Almost universally, there may be a few exceptions, but almost universally, the part numbers are highlighted in yellow as you look around. So the part number for this oil is 5W20. As I come over here, let's see, up on this top shelf, I've got some brake fluid. The part number there is DOT3. Over here, we've got some automatic transmission fluid, ATF plus 4. The part number is ATF4. And it goes on and on as we look around the room. The same thing applies over here. The wire, we've got all these rolls of wire. Notice that if I'm looking for 16 gauge red wire, for example, that's what this roll would be. Right here on the sheet, I follow it down and it says 16 gauge red. There's the part number. It's highlighted in yellow. So as we look around, hose clamps, the same thing. Each hose clamp, there's a size and then a yellow part number above it that I would type in. If I was to look in here, for example, these are light bulbs in this drawer. Open it up. It's got a map of all the light bulbs in this drawer with their part numbers. And as we look down inside, there are the bulbs and the part numbers, or the bulbs, and then the part numbers that correspond are up here on the lid. So we would do the same thing. We've got heat shrink tubing, zip ties, battery terminals, O-rings, rivets. We've got some different fuses here. This is some specialty type fuses. Fuses like this, cotter pins, electrical connectors, and some other miscellaneous things down here. You know, as we look on the other side, roll pins, valve stems for tires, Christmas tree type clips. Again, these are small things, and maybe they aren't worth a lot, but they do add up quickly. Fuses, for example, people tend to think it's a fuse, it's small, but as we look at these, they've got a part number. We've had to buy them, and actually one of these fuses is worth over $1 typically. So we need to make sure and bill them out. Just like if you were at the store and you had a candy bar, you would not even think of walking out of the store without paying for them. Even these little parts are worth more than a candy bar. So here's how we do it. Let's assume that we're going to, back down here to the fuses, let's assume that we're going to bill out 2 of these 15 amp regular fuses right here. Part number is ATC15, so let's say that we're going to grab 2 of these on our car. Right, we've got 2 of them here. So we'd walk over here to the computer with that part number, ATC15. Over here to the computer, I've already logged in and opened up Mitchell Manager. A quick tip. I right-click on customer, for example, and I can type in a last name, and it will find all the customers with that name. I find the repair order that I want, double-click on it. It'll open it up. And there's the repair order. There are the parts that are already built to this repair order. If I wanted to build those fuses, I would come over here and click on this parts tab. And here's where I'd enter the part number, ATC15. And when I type that in and hit tab, it should pull that up. And sure enough, there's my 15 amp fuse that I was looking for. And the price on that is $1.16. And we purchased 2, so I need to make sure to enter 2 into the quantity there. Now if I tab or click down, it'll update things here. And I click done or save. Save if I want to enter another part number, or done if I'm finished with that box. Now it should show up there. I can also look down below and see the total now on this repair order should also reflect the new parts that have been added. See that total there? There we go. And that's how you do this. Again, please don't ever walk out of the door of this tool room with fuses, with oil, with anything that hasn't first been billed. Don't say that you'll come back later and build it out, because that just doesn't happen. We find that students forget a large portion of the time. So bill it out before you walk out the door with anything. Now, there are a couple of exceptions to that. One is right over here in the center of this wall, right over on these 2 shelves here, we have what are called the open container shelves. And these are oils or fluids or other components that have been billed out already. So someone billed this out to a repair order, so it's been paid for, but didn't use the whole bottle, and decided rather than throwing it away, we can put it here. And now these are free to use. So if you walk in here and find something on either of these 2 shelves with the green labels, it's the shelf up here, the one below it, these are free for you to use. In fact, here's a bottle that's almost full of this antifreeze, right? We've got some oil. If we needed half a quart of oil, this one's about half full. You can go ahead and use those. They've been paid for. And again, if you use something like oil or antifreeze and don't use up the whole bottle, please feel free to bring it back here and set it on this shelf, as long as the label's correct. Don't pour something in the wrong bottle. You'll mix somebody up. The other exception is over here on this wall, in this corner, are our cleaners. Up on top we have electrical cleaners, some lubricants here. There's maybe like WD-40 or PB Blaster, some rust penetrants, and brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner, and some glass cleaners and things like that down here. You'll notice on here it says that these things are not billed out, because typically we would just grab a can of penetrant and we use a squirt or 2, and that's all. So rather than billing out a whole can, we ask you just to please use these conservatively and then put them back on the shelf. Anyway, there's the tool room. And if you're in the other building, you'll find out that the tool room, even though things may be located in a little bit different spot, it works the same way. The billing process works the same way, and we appreciate everybody working together to help make this work.
And with your help, we can keep it working.